Time to watch one match from this, and then for me to sleep. Wind down from all that marble. Remember other fighting games with only 2 characters instead of 6. Ninjas and shit. Remember this game? There's some things I like about Street Fighter 5, and some things I don't like. But that was a nice combo. God fucking damn if I don't like these 2 characters. I like Street Fighter 5 Ibuki so much more than 4. And I like Street Fighter 4 Vega so much more than 5. That was a great little sequence. So the initial one was a 2-frame link, because it was kind of hit like normal. And then 1-frame link, and then 1-frame link, and then 1-frame link. No, just 2 1-frame links. It's 4 hits total. Crouch jab, crouch jab, crouch jab, crouch strong. Pretty hard combo. If you think Street Fighter 5 is too easy, you didn't play high enough. You gave up too fast. I honestly don't see difficulty as a good thing in a fighting game anyway. That's an unusual thing to go for there. That's a really unusual thing. You think you would have gone for an ultra. It's a lot better to use your ultra meter and save your super meter, especially when you're down around. Very ambiguous cross up. Right on cross up. Huh? Ooh, my goodness. He fucked his charge a little bit though. Skill ceiling and skill floor are such different things. Why'd you go for that? I don't know what Ibuki's escape is, but that was weird. When he had like a million other things he could have done there. Oops, I'm still watching. That's a much more reasonable excuse to hate Street Fighter 5. It's gonna be a comeback. Unfortunately, Vega, it's not that he's neat, interesting. It's not that Vega sucks at making comebacks, but he sucks at doing anything. He needs a bar a lot. Like, a lot of his conversions just cost a bar. I think you can slide under Vega at wall dive, but I don't think you can slide under Vega super. It's a lot bigger than his regular wall dive grab. Like, a lot bigger. Ooh, good counter poke. That was an empty cancel. That's one of the biggest conversions in the game from a focus backdash. Meterless. That's one of Vega's little advantages. That's like a problem with skill ceiling and not skill floor. And it's not like you never see hyper advanced stuff in Street Fighter 5. I definitely do all the time. There was like some big tournament recently where I saw some hot shit I'd never seen. Could have canceled that into drill, I think. One like that. I remember. I remember what Ducky's talking about. Literally everything people say about Street Fighter 5, people said about vanilla Street Fighter 4. It's been a year and 3 months. Came out in February 2016. Honestly, the main difference between Street Fighter 4 and 5 is the cast size. The thing about Street Fighter 4 is that it came in a giant drought. With Street Fighter 4, there's no lingering question of what should we go back to. But with Street Fighter 5, there is. That's like a big difference. That's why people don't like letting stuff develop anymore. It's because like we're playing this game where we could just go back and play Street Fighter 4 instead. Street Fighter 5 definitely has had new tech, it's just very footsie based. It's not like fucking nothing's come around. Street Fighter 5 didn't really do that much to fucking remove option selects from Street Fighter 4. Hello. Nice. Oh, the video feed's cut off. I can't believe no one actually said that until now. There, I fixed it, sort of. I forgot that this is widescreen and not tiny. There, I uncut it. I can't believe no one said a thing. This has been playing for all of 8 minutes. No one cared. Everyone's too busy discussing. The removal of close and far normals is utterly harmless change, in my opinion. The reason is because sometimes you got one when you wanted the other. If you played Adon, you'd know. There are a lot of characters who suffered for that. Sometimes you want Kami's stand roundhouse, and you get Kami's close stand roundhouse, and you get a normal that fucking sucks. You might say the real problem is that Kami's close roundhouse fucking sucks. But really, I think the real problem is not being able to get what you want when you want. Proximity normals don't actually do anything. I guess they give you a little bit of option selecting. But really, having perpetual like same range normals is actually more friendly for option selecting. When you have a normal like, what's a good example? Let me think about this. There are definitely good examples. All the examples I'm thinking of are really bad. There are certain normals you can just kind of put out there. I don't know. Fucking... I don't know. All the examples I'm thinking of, I automatically think of examples the other way. There are certain normals you can just kind of put out there for their hitbox and then buffer a cancel inside them. In Street Fighter V, almost all normals will be cancel, or like all normals. A normal will always have a cancel, but in Street Fighter 4, it's frequent that a normal will have a cancel on its close version, but not its far version. So if you're doing like empty cancels, buffered option selects, you can use far buttons and then buffer like cancels inside them more easily if they don't have a close and far version. Yeah, Seth was actually one of the biggest offenders of that. Proximity normals do nothing good. No one in Street Fighter V has proximity normals at all, including Go. The closest thing to a proximity normal in Street Fighter V is jury stand medium kick. That's like probably the only actual example of a proximity normal. Technically speaking, the same thing's happening whether it's close or far away. But up close, the damage distribution is different. If you get the first hit, the second hit does a lot less damage. If you get the second hit by itself, the second is a lot stronger. Gao's close hard punch is just as hard punch. You can do it at any range. The fucking straight is a back hard punch, and the back fist is a towards hard punch. I remember Geef close to light kick. That's a very shitty button. And Geef far light kick is a very good button. Yan has low health. There's a very simple answer to every single time someone asks why no one plays low health characters. And the answer is they have low health. That is a deal breaker for a shit ton of people, even if the character is good. I tend to like low health characters, but not because they have low health. Low health fucking sucks. But I tend to like the kind of characters who have low health. He's also somewhat difficult, and he's also only barely better than most characters if you unlock him. He's probably still top tier. He won a Capcom Cup, right? That's kind of a big deal. Hi, Treble. Nice, big damage. Why do you backdash? React to that. The punish is almost the same. He had a much better option if he forward dashed though. He could have done close fierce into low strong into EX wall dive. A lot more damage. That overhead is giant. I'm alright. Dude, it's a Geef. I play this matchup a lot. It's probably bad for Vega. But, the way that Vega wins is a lot more clear than the way Geef wins. Like, Geef has to, like, do all this stupid shit to try and find a victory out of this matchup. But Vega just does his normal stuff. I think at the absolute highest level of play, it might be bad for Vega. But in everything up to the highest level of play, it's good for Vega. Oh, should have been off the wall. Vega Kemi is bad for Vega. Kemi has the ability to play footsies against Vega where most characters don't. And Vega hates rushdown, always. That can be a punish. That hop kick is -4, and the more it's spaced, the less punishable it is. But Geef's got a 2-frame grab. Big damage, he dropped it. Insufficient charging. Viper actually isn't that hard to play at a high level. She's hard to play at a low level. Most of most of Viper's actual hard stuff, or I shouldn't say, most of Viper's really broken stuff is not that hard. It's just like fucking meaty instant air burn kicks and stuff like that. It's mostly strategic. The bigger thing about Viper is that, oh, dead. Bigger thing about Viper is that she's nearly unplayable if you're not playing at a high level. In order to do very basic things that other characters can do with simple cancel, she has to like jump through a bunch of hoops. It's like everyone else can just do like fucking stand hard punch, low medium punch, or some link like that. Viper has to do fucking a cancel and then a feint in order to get like her link. Technically you can do stand strong, low strong, but the damage loss is noticeable compared to like stand fierce, low fierce. That stand roundhouse is a failed flip kick. Could have cancelled that. Would have had to burn his charge. Geef doesn't really have good answers to wall dive pressure. Lariat seems like it'd be really good, but it's actually throwable for the whole duration. You can hold up forward and do jump strong here. If they technical, which he did, the delayed stand, you can do empty jump low pretty easily. I know that entire sequence. I think Vega can still punish that. I think that's unthrowable as of Ultra. I think they did something to make that unthrowable. Misses follow up. Could have gotten a hard, ooh, nice. This will almost go. Vega's at a huge advantage here. Yeah, he shouldn't be hanging back. He's letting Geef build meter. Nice. Jump medium kick. Jump medium punch actually does the same thing slightly better if you've got the claw. Geef doesn't have a great answer to wall dive at all. Early crouch medium punch seems like it'd be good, and it's not horrible, but like, if Vega goes over you, it doesn't hit. Okay. Could have been an ultra, but... Very nice. That's a true anti-air at that range. Lariat doesn't beat the... That probably won't hit. Lariat won't beat the grab follow-up. Lariat's throwable for the whole thing. Speaking as a Vega who has done the grab follow-up on many Geef players. It won't even trade if it's the grab, and it's not too hard to grab it. Geef does not have a great answer to wall dive, EX wall dive. He does, it's Ultra 2. If you jump off the wall literally at all, and Geef has Ultra 2 stocked, he can just hold up towards and then Ultra 2. And even if you steer away, he grabs you, I think. I have no idea if people still play. I think Vega does win in neutral, but this scenario, when you get knocked over and have to block a bunch of attacks, is really bad. Nice. Oh, see that? Very tricky. If that was jump light kick, it wouldn't have crossed up. Alright, would have, rather. Yeah. Very hard. Oh. I think that can be a punish. You just missed it. I love Street Fighter V's fucking buffer system. I used to hate punishing. Like, I think that was one of the biggest weaknesses of Street Fighter before 5. Was punishing, like, stuff with normals was really annoying. I prefer Vega's charge. I mean, technically I prefer Vega's motion, but I don't like the motion Vega we got. But charge is only a weakness. Yeah, getting a one-frame punish with like a normal, with like the optimal normal was so shitty. Like, one-frame links, I can live that they're in the game. I can live with that. But there was such dumb stuff here and there. Like, okay. I'm pretty sure Gen didn't have a 3-frame normal either at all or not for ages, okay? Gen's only 3-frame attack was, like, hard hands. So in order to punish, like, something like a able change of direction, he had to get reversal, hard hands, and then FADC link strong in order to get, like, a significant punish. I think crush counters are a really smart idea. There's just like 2 or 3 crush counters that are just like completely... Well, I think in general crush counters don't have the right risk-reward ratio. But there are some that are just laughably bad. Like the risk-reward ratio is completely wrong. They're too common, damn it. It should feel like holy shit when you land one. I do like the idea of a crush counter punishable attack though. I like having that as like a combo component. It's cool to have a punish combo and then also have a crush counter punish combo. I mostly like Rog's crush counters. The only problem I have is that Stem Roundhouse is too good of a button in neutral. The Crouch Fierce crush counter feels fine. And I like the fact that you have 2 different enders for Stem Roundhouse crush counter depending on whether they're close or far away. But I think it would probably be a little bit more fair if Rog's crush counter Stem Roundhouse either was a worse button itself or only led to dash and jab. Being able to lead into dash in forward is kind of strong. Well. The only actual uniform system of the V system is that V skills are generally your only way of building V meter. And that's actually like... Oh, I remember doing that. That's a Link. He missed it. And that's actually one of the weakest parts because building V meter should be equally possible as every character against every character, I feel. Nice. Car throws all over the place. That was good. I generally like V-triggers. I think V-triggers are good. I think they're a really cool system. Most V-triggers are comeback mechanics only in the very loose sense. Like, they do help you come back, but they all have a very large component of just helping your footsies. Just about every single V-trigger is mostly just something that makes your footsies better. So you still have to make the comeback, you just have a little bit better options. The V skills, I think, are weak as fuck. I think even the good V skills are kind of weak. V skills are like a really, really, really garbage version of traits from like BlazBlue or Injustice. I, in general, don't really like one-time use V-triggers. Those ones I actually feel like a comeback mechanic. That being said, I think there's only like Dawson plus Vega. Maybe one more. It's like a pretty small number. And both of them are highly footsie-oriented, I guess. Vegas is not so footsie-oriented. Vegas needs work. Vegas is bad. Oh yeah, Rashid too. Rashid says a lot of footsie use. Ed? Who's that? I don't know who that character is. I'm fine with the critical art juggle. The main problem I have with it is that, like, you don't really see the other uses of it besides the one that sets up the critical art, because the one that sets up the critical art is too useful for the fact that it sets up the critical art. I want to see the anti-air one a little bit, just, you know. I want the anti-air one to be buffed so it's actually a good anti-air, because right now it kind of isn't. And I want the air one to be buffed a little bit too, so you've actually got a better fire balancer. I really do think that Injustice 1 and 2 are literally like the character attributes. There are a lot of those that are useless even in those games. But those overall just like feel a lot more like, you know, a real system of this is what this individual character, this is the theme of this character. That's what traits feel like in Injustice. BlazBlue to a much greater extreme because BlazBlue actually has it but balanced. V-skills are such an afterthought. They're not what your character does. They're not an ultimate, like, representation of your character's fucking role. MKX's variation system is probably the best mechanic I've seen in a fighting game in the last 10 years. I am not joking, nor am I exaggerating. That is a phenomenal idea. It requires very little development, or not very little, it requires a shit ton of development. But having 20 characters with 3 variations versus having 60 characters, it's a lot easier to have the former. That did not punish. The EX Sky High Claw is probably a failed. It's probably a negative edge from his Plink. He's probably doing crouch strong into crouch jab, Plink, and then doing up towards plus kicks, and he's releasing the jab and the strong. That's my best guess. Sub-Zero's projectile is actually like plus 100 some. A lot more than plus 30. Wow, fucking Sakura is shit. Sakura literally just focus attacked over a low strong. As a pad warrior, I just held down the jab and the strong. And I just hit all 3 kicks while holding down those 2 buttons. On stick, that sounds really annoying. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's no excuse. The run mechanic is actually very stiff too. I think overall MKX wasn't very stiff though. They are stiffer than Street Fighter, but I don't think it hurts. Or rather, you know, it'd be more accurate to say that I got used to it fast and it doesn't really hurt you because the opponent is, you know, the opponent has somewhat stiff movement options too. Whoa. I almost never want that move on accident. One of Ibuki's buffs during one of the versions was to make it so that move has no landing recovery if you don't do anything. Originally it had so much landing recovery, like, not doing anything was dramatically more unsafe than doing anything. Which sounds retarded. Fun fact, they actually never buffed this. If Ibuki and Viper super jump and then do like an air normal or like an air special move or something like that, they just have their regular ass landing recovery. Like if it's an air normal, it'll be like like 2 frames where they can't block and 2 frames where they can block but can't do anything else. But if you super jump with Ibuki or Viper, both of them, and don't do anything midair like you do an empty jump, there's a fuck ton of landing recovery, like a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't even aware of it because why would you jump? Like, why would you do that super jump into like an empty jump? There's like very few instances where you'd really be doing that. Between ST and 3S, that's a crazy hard question to answer. That's a long time. It's like 1992 or something to 1999. I think CVS2 was after Third Strike. ISKF 98, 1 year before Third Strike. Oh. When did Soul Edge come out? Was that like 2000? What about Soul Calibur? That must have been like 2000. Soul Calibur 1 is a pretty great game. That could have been air throw for maybe the kill. That button's the most amazing button that Vega's never hit. A lot of people treat Vega's stay medium kick like it's redundant with low forward. But it actually ekes it out a little bit at the loss of cancelability. But that hitbox differential is actually very, very good because almost every person, it's a meta thing. Almost every person, when zoning Vega correctly, treats his max effective range as just outside the range of his low strong. So a lot of people kind of get to that range, and stay medium kick will actually hit the people who are hanging around outside the range of low strong. So he attacks you from a range where you're not really like trained, conditioned to be able to do anything about it. It works because of his other poke. It works because of his main poke. 6 frames sounds really fast. I thought it was like 8. It's like quite fast for a poke of that range. Second House is 4 frames, but if you miss the first hit, it's like, I forget, a lot. 10. Vega wouldn't have been busted if he had a 3-frame jab, but he would have been seen a lot more fucking use if he had a 3-frame jab. I think that would have sealed his whole combos together. I think Vega's combos are perfect except for the awkwardness that is his entire jab. If you could pursue a 3-frame link after like stand fierce or low forward with jab, or if you could do repeated jab links for repeated 2-frame links, but then if you wanted to get the EX, if you wanted to get the low strong, you had to go through a 1-frame link still. I think that would have just brought him all together. Also his biggest, not his biggest weakness, but his only normal weakness was the lack of a 3-frame jab. Oh, it's Chris medium kick at 6. Jesus Lord. DJ, I think DJ is as low as people say. All of DJ's sufferings are like things you wouldn't expect. Ooh. This is the fucking Rasta DJ. I used this one for the fucking 420 video. No, this matchup is kind of shit. This is definitely good for Vega. I played this matchup quite a lot. Vega can punish all Sobots with low strong. There's some other annoying things Vega can do to make DJ's life miserable. He can punish that low forward at all ranges. I forget. It's been too long. Vega has buttons that, like, DJ has a lot of, like, semi-safe stuff that, like, very few characters can punish. That Vega can punish, like, all of it. I don't know if I'd even say that Vega DJ's super specialist. He's actually quite well-rounded. DJ's little hop kick is pretty good in this matchup, though. It's very annoying. Vega's already kind of bad at anti-airing, and when you put that move into the mix. See, that's unsafe. Vega didn't punish it, but low strong punishes that. Yeah, the hop kick is definitely a problem. You've got to do like an early light Sobot. I mean, not Sobot. Early light Scarlet Terror. And getting down charge in this match is kind of hard. Like, Vega didn't have down charge there. That was a good jump. Vega can still jump back strong it, and he can also jump air throw it. but his options on the ground are pretty shit. He can't like easily jump. He can't easily stand around house it or anything like that. The angle is all wrong. Offensive guile is also not really true for DJ, I feel. He has a fireball. The charged fireball is like the only similarity between them. DJ honestly plays more like Bison than Guile, if you discount the fireball. That might have been a punish. That hit kind of high. Neat. DJ does like no damage unless you actually get like a raw point blank punish. And you can't move because he has no fucking way to move and still do a combo because he has like almost no inherent charge. You see all these combos? He needs to hit this combo like 100 times to actually be powerful, or he has to burn a bunch of meter into that. Like the combos into low forward are just so weak. And he could be doing combos into stand medium kick into Sobot, but that doesn't knock down. It doesn't lead to anything. That's not even gonna work. No, but like most characters, almost DJ's the only character who isn't like this. Most characters in this game have something that they can do where they can move themselves to the correct position. Like if you block a Kemi DP as Vega, like yeah, she bounces away really far, but you can like walk forward. It's so punishable. You can walk forward and then do stand fierce, and then during the stand fierce find charge time. Like every single character in this game has combos that can build charge. DJ has to use like light normals to build charge. He has to scale the fuck out of his combos. DJ like has no non-charge move, and none of his links give him charge time. Yeah. I mean, technically speaking, if you could actually do... there were a bunch of extra steps that DJ had. If you could actually do it, if you had like the good execution for DJ's combos, he had a 1-bar ultra setup. But like you had to do stuff like low jab, link stand forward, and then like combo a fucking flash kick motion from stand forward. You could use low strong, but it was a 1-frame link and it like would frequently push out of range. Stand forward was better about that. Stand forward was a 2-frame link that pushed less. So you could do like 2 jabs into stand forward and still get the X upper, I think. And then you have to do dash ultra from that. So you have to be able to do a dash into a delta motion reliably, which is not too hard, but it's annoying. And then also you had to be able to do links into EX upper, like stand motion, stand button, like tight link plus stand button into like flash kick motion. You have to do both of those in the same combo. That's pretty annoying. If you had Ultra 1, you basically couldn't combo into it at all. Ultra almost one of the only ultras that you couldn't land after a focus attack. That's kind of a big deal. That kind of fucking sucks. That means you can't even land it with red focus. Should have been down towards Roundhouse. Ooh, you got the trade combo. Yeah, if the crouch medium kick didn't knock down, it actually would be a much better normal. Like, it would just cancel instead of knocking down. But even then, the real problem is what DJ can cancel into, which is nothing. It's Sobot, which doesn't knock down. DJ doesn't have the neutral. He feels like a character who should have really good normals when you consider his special moves. But then he doesn't really have really good normals at all. DJ is like secret high tier in SD. He's like secret top tier maybe. He like legitimately might be like top 6 characters in the game. Neat. Aftermatch cancel. Another problem of DJ is like his main mix-up is that like hop versus big jump, that down light kick versus jump medium kick. But even landing a jump medium kick at all kills your charge. And then he's gonna go for dumb shit like fucking, you know, jab jab stand forward hard Sobot or jab jab fucking trip. Good punish. Holy shit. There's good awareness and good range. Stop button he could hit. Hit it. Like, even when he gets it, even when he's rewarded, even when he makes the right read, there's just so little damage. Granted, he's doing baby enders for the mix-up. His other enders don't lead to loops. But that's the real problem here. Is that this is the optimal thing for him to do. That was an Ultra DJ buff. He can now do crouch jab into EX upper. He didn't used to be able to do that. He's not really in anything. DJ's zoning is okay. His rushdown is okay. He's not phenomenal at either of them. He actually does have an inherent charge with stay medium kick low strong. But it's a one frame link, which was another problem DJ faced, was that he was doing one frame links a lot. DJ literally doesn't have an archetype. They might have tried to make him a zoner. He does have a fireball, and he does have a clean anti-air. And he's got a move that's kind of like scissor kick. I'm not sure I've ever actually seen that big a costume, to be honest. I can't think of ever seeing that claw ever. Might be part of the Halloween set or something. Well, this is a matchup where you wouldn't zone anyway. Actually, like, you can beat Vega by zoning or by, like, rushing down, to be honest. Zoning Vega is hard. It's bad. Unless you have a fireball, and then it's okay. It's not like Vega has a good answer to fireballs. He just has, like, the universal answers. And Ultra 2. And Ultra 1, I guess. His Ultras are good answers to fireballs. But like otherwise, it's just like you have to use like predictive EX Sky High Claw, which you would never do, predictive EX Roll, which you might do, or just jumps and good movement, focus attacks, the universal stuff. That was cool. Decap. Missed the link. Decapri's damage is quite high. Non-EX Sky High Claw is actually the worst move in the game. No punish! That was a quite unsafe one. Honestly, DJ's punishes are kind of bad. A lot of Vega is really archaic. Holdover stuff. That's one of the big problems with Street Fighter 4. Is that a lot of stuff was made for like to maintain. A lot of stuff in this game is legacy. Decapri took a shit ton of risks. Decapri is probably high, if not top, in my opinion. But she never really got unlocked in the life of the game. But I think she actually is extremely good, from what I know of her. Rufus worst Vega matchup? Maybe. I generally like the strength of fireballs in this game. It feels about right. Right now the fireball characters aren't really much better or worse. If fireballs were worse, the balance would be worse, so I think fireballs are just fine. He could have done regular Sting FADC. Instead he did EX Sting. I think EX and regular Sting have the same invincibility window. EX has more invincibility, but like, he didn't need projectile or throw invincibility there, so the light Sting would have been fine. It's a weird decision, doing a raw Sting like that. And having 2 bars to Sting using it EX instead of... That can be a punish. Sakura stands short of 3 frames, and that's a -3 attack. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually a really, really good example of that. It's a phenomenal example of that. Sakura has to do like staying short into raw DP to punish light jab hands from Decapri. You have to do a reversal normal and like time it like a 1-frame link. And then you have to cancel immediately into something unsafe, or else you can't pick up a punish. I guess you could also cancel the EX legs. EX Tatsu. The best example I ever heard was the one that James Chen brought up, which is Kami's punish against Rog's light dash punch. Rog's light dash punch is -3, and Kami can punish it with 1 jab, but not 2. So you have to get reversal jab, and the only way to combo out a reversal jab is to instantly go into spiral arrow. So you have to do reversal jab, pray you get the punish, and just immediately cancel into a very unsafe attack against a character with like pretty high damage. Thanks, Capcom. Canceling into special off 1 button? It's not any harder, I don't think. Tricky. That's a jump light kick that probably crossed up but still landed on the same side. A few characters have that in this game. It's pretty strong. If he did the jump light kick later, it probably would have crossed up and landed on the opposite side. Painful. That's like borderline impossible. I can't think of a time that Vega did it. Jab Jab EX. Jab Jab EX off the wall is the only one I can think of, or Jab Strong EX off the wall. Or I shouldn't even say that's, because those aren't even really one frame confirm. Those aren't even one normal confirms. Those are two normal confirms. Or rather, you do the cancel by the second normal. Those are one light confirms, but it's a much looser window than like some of the other one light confirms. Sakura Tatsu is safe because she like has no ranged component, unlike the other Shotos. She has a lot of safe pressure because she can't do anything from afar. And if you say Sakura's Fireball is good, you're completely wrong. I actually really like Ken. Everyone fuck off. I like the subtlety between Ryu and Ken. They're actually quite different in Street Fighter 5. Basically fucking completely different characters. I like the notion that two characters can be almost exactly the same, but the differences can have giant gameplay implications. Oh. Hope for the kill. Hard DP does optimal chip too. If it did EX DP, it wouldn't have even killed. I think this matchup is supposed to be kind of shitty. Honda's normally a kind of bad character, but I think he's strong here. Do you think Honda would have a better response? After cornering himself with his own command grab? Dude, imagine how fucking wonderful Street Fighter 5 would be if you got command grab by... if Nakali's command grab swapped sides. Imagine that, that'd be perfect. What a perfect change that would be. Imagine if you got command grab by Nakali in the corner and then he was in the corner. Oh my god, I want to play that. That's the Nakali change. Just give Nakali that and then don't change anything else and it'll be the most balanced character in the game. If you want to see some retarded damage, Honda can hit it. I don't remember the damage, but like jump fierce, stand forward, like hands into low forward, into like super was possible on some characters. And Jesus Christ. Choo choo is the sound of kissing. His name is Choo Choo and then Kissy Face. You don't like this Vega costume? I like it a lot. I used it probably more than any other Vega costume until I got the B. The B is perfect. The B is just the right amount of tongue-in-cheek. Flamenco Vega? I think my favorite Vega, in terms of just raw design, like how good it looked, I think the Pirate Shirt Vega, the first alt he got, was like the best one. Tier lists based on tournament results are the most pure tier lists. They're not always right. But they're always right for the time. If a character has an infinite that no one can do, do they really have an infinite? Lots is a bit strong. I can think of 3. I can think of Fei Long, I can think of Abel, I can think of Chun-Li. All of them were incredibly situational. Chun-Li's required a crouching opponent and only worked on a couple characters, I think Abel. I don't remember who Abel's worked on. Oh, Akuma Sagat. Was that actually an infinite? I think it wasn't a real infinite. I think it either slowly got closer or slowly got farther away. Technically, any infinite that only worked on crouching opponents was also not a true infinite because you'd eventually dizzy the opponent. And once they recovered from the dizzy, you couldn't use your punish to be the infinite because they'd be standing. Vega was top tier in SF2, but that was like, that is a reason, but it's one of like 30 reasons. It's a meme anti-air. A lot of Vegas try and land the anti-air Ultra 2. It's not nearly that as good as most people think. If the opponent empty jumps, they can always block it. One of Vega's greatest strengths was the fact that his wall dives meant he could utterly avoid he could ignore the fireball component of the game, which was otherwise like the biggest component of the game. Vega almost didn't care about fireballs at all. Vega shut down a very, very large portion of the entire meta. I intended to watch 2 matches of this. We've watched over an hour of it. I don't know. In Street Fighter 4, you need to read too. It's too risky to just do it, or rather, you're just throwing your bar away. It's easy to EX roll, and you probably won't get punished for it. Oh, he had a big punish there. Vega's been the star of this whole video. Honda sitting on a charge at that range is really problematic. Honda's using his butt dive really well. Which Vega's my favorite? I like Zeus a lot, I guess. Makoto 1248 is my favorite Vega. That juggle. That was cool. I think she can super jump cancel that crutch fierce and then cancel it. That was a guaranteed punish, but he probably shouldn't have taken it. He had to burn a bar to punish that. There was a car throw in Street Fighter V's beta. They took it out. It was off of Chun-Li's towards Strong. Oh, favorite Vega. It's probably Street Fighter 4. I just read that comment. I finally understood it. Sleepy Bath. Street Fighter 4 has a cool Vega. I didn't really like him until then, honestly. Takes a lot of damage when he eats that. The one hand is not too bad, but he's also eating the absorb normal. I can make it to the end of this video, damn it. Actually, why try? I've been streaming for a while. 7 hours. 7 hours is a while. I'll watch this one last. Kalori. At first, Ibuki's like, wow, this guy really knows his fucking crazy ass Oki setups, and then you play it, and it's like, wow, actually he knows everything. I think Makoto's V-trigger would probably involve her turning red. V-skill, I don't know. Oh shit. Wait, never mind. I admire Problem X's character picks. Makoto's one-bar stuff, especially post-Ultra, is too good. Makoto Super is not that bad, though. It's a little underrated. You can do some really cool links into Ultra 1 with Super, and it sounds memey, but the thing is that gives you a powered-up Ultra 1. And the damage increase is actually quite significant. Like, she can get like 600, 700 damage combos. It's 4 bars plus Ultra, but you know, that's kind of a lot. Kind of a lot of damage. EX Fireball, trust me. That's good too. He should have followed that in harder. What was Honda gonna do through it? He wasn't gonna do shit. Should have followed it in low forward DP. Anyway, I'm going to bed.